I mentioned a while in a previous video that this car is not without its issues. There's a few things I wanted to take care of since I got it. Some things that I found out about, mostly all the things I found out when I got it. It's nothing major, but a few things I just wanted to address. I noticed that when the vehicle was unloaded from the trailer, when I took delivery, one of the reverse lights was out. One of the LEDs, I took it out and it was actually broken. I thought maybe it had come undone from the taillight, the little plug that it goes into, but it was actually broken. So I'm going to replace that. When I took the Celine wheels off to clean them up, I noticed that I already knew this car had extended wheel studs on it, but the lug nuts on it were the small ones, which you're not supposed to do with extended wheel studs. So I bought some extended lug nuts for the extended wheel studs on it, and also it had a spacer on it, but it's a non-hub centric spacer, and it was way too thin to begin with, so even if it was hub centric I wouldn't have kept it. So I got some thicker spacers to really poke the wheels out a little bit more, because they're still kind of sucked into the fenders just a little bit. And also, while I have the car up in the air with the wheels off, I'm going to go up underneath it and grease all the fittings for the IRS for the FTBR bushing kit that's in it. I'm not sure when the last time they were actually greased, so I'm going to go through and do all that as well, and maybe take care of a few other issues about the car as I'm going through it. This is a quick edit that I'm throwing into the video. This is actually recorded the next day after I recorded everything that you just saw before and everything you're going to see after. The reason I'm throwing in the edit is I had to re-record some stuff and to explain some stuff coming up in the video, just so it makes a little bit more sense. I mentioned before how I hate GoPros. I don't really like using them, but I'm trying to incorporate mine more into doing videos. Most of this video is shot with my GoPro. I have to go back and re-record some stuff because the reason why I hate GoPros, I lost some of the footage. But I'm not going to try and have that stop me from using it more in the future as well. The other reason too is when I'm underneath the car doing all the fittings under the IRS or greasing them, you can't really see what I'm doing with the grease gun in a lot of it just because it's not angled right. Like I said, I don't use GoPros a lot, so the angle wasn't the way I wanted it to. And for whatever reason, when you're using the GoPro app on your phone, you can't view what you're recording, because as soon as you hit record, the screen on your phone goes blank. So you can't exactly see what the GoPro is seeing. Those people out there that record with GoPros as like their primary source for doing videos, I don't know how you do it, but it amazes me, honestly. Also, I wanted to point out too that when I had the car up in the air, when I was doing the stuff underneath it, I'll throw in a few pictures right now. One of the big things that I was concerned about when I got this car was I wanted to do a wideband O2 sensor on it. But it's a whole issue of taking it someplace that wants to weld it in, taking it to a place that you trust to do it, although it's not like a big job. But it's still, you don't want someone to screw something up on the car. But you see from the pictures that it already has a wideband O2 bung welded in. So I just have to buy the wideband gauge, and basically I'm still getting the whole kit. I just don't have to get a bung welded in because it's already on the car. And the other thing too is I need to record an outro for this video. I did go out and drive with a Cobra after I got the wheel spacers on and everything else. But I did it with the GoPro and the angle was really bad. You see pretty much most of the visor on the car and a little bit of the road, and that's basically it. It was really shit, honestly. So I'm just going to record an outro for the end of the video. But enough of that, I'll get into all the stuff that I'm working on for the car for this video now. Before I bolt it all back in, I want to make sure it actually works. And look at that, 2 working backup lights. Not the same LEDs, but if I didn't tell you, would you even know? So these are the lights that I put in for the rear reverse light that was out. I got these off American Muscle. Basically put in that new light back in. You can see it's different from this one over here, but they light up about the same, which I'll show you guys in a second. And what I wanted to ask is if anyone knows what this harness could be. This doesn't look like it's factory. So there on the floor, there's a tab there that runs up into here. And I haven't quite found out where it goes to yet. But I'm not sure exactly what this, if it's factory or if it was put in, if it was put in after at some point. Which I almost think it does because of these connectors here on it. If anyone has any idea of what this is, I'd really like to know, because I'm kind of stumped on it. Sure, there's some more of those connectors right there, those red ones. So throw me some ideas if you have any. So you can see these aren't the proper lug nuts that you want to run on a car with extended wheel studs. So I'm not sure why they did that. And you also don't want to run a non-hub-centric spacer. These are like so cheap. These are like VIP friggin' garbage. This is that repaired wheel that I had done. Not bad at all. Not bad. Definitely a wheel worth saving. So this is the real fun part of trying to find all these fittings for the FTBR kit to grease all of them. Hey, some old stickers from the Fox body. Now I did find them a little while ago. Like this one's easy. Getting into some of them is going to be pretty tough. It took a lot of grease, so that was definitely due to get some. And get a little bit more light under here. I think that will take more. It's just this fitting wasn't on good enough and it was coming out of the end. It's getting really hard to squeeze. I think that's pretty full. There's another one up there. That one's really on there. There it goes. That one didn't take much at all. That's a pretty small bushing. That sucks. I put that one at a really weird angle. I'm not sure if I can get this one. The way they have it angled is really freaking weird. Whoever put that fit into that angle is an asshole. That sucks. They always come out so much harder than when they go on. Anyone want to buy a Sonic Blue Cobra with a grease gun stuck to it? right, that's done, thankfully. Whoever put those in didn't put them at the optimal angle, because some of those are really hard to get to. I guess it's kind of hard to tell without the IRS being in the car which way to angle them, but they definitely could have been done a little bit better than where they were put in. These are the wheel spacers I picked up. As you can see, they're a lot thicker than the ones that came on it. The other ones are already on the other side. Very difficult install. We'll get a back end view once all these are on and the car's back on level ground to see what the poke is on these. I don't want like the wheel coming like out of the wheel well, but it was definitely sucked in before. In case you're wondering why I have the blocks of wood under the tires, it's because the quick jacks will not fit underneath without jacking the car up first and lowering it down onto these. With my floor jack, which is over there, then put these blocks of wood under it, and then slide the quick jacks underneath it to lift it up by the subframe connectors. Hopefully when the new springs go in this and the car is up a little bit higher, I won't have to go through this whole debacle just to get the car up in the air. Yeah, it looks a lot better. Granted, it's still on the blocks, but the wheels definitely look much better than what they did. I'm gonna go and get these off the blocks the easy way. Instead of jacking the car up, I'm just gonna back it up a few feet. looks a lot better. Here's a little bit more of the profile of the wheels now with those spacers on. It does look much better. So that will pretty much conclude everything. The wheel spacers look great. I'm really glad that I decided to poke the wheels out a little bit more because they were tucked into the fenders. I just didn't really like that look at all. These are, for those wondering, the Celine 18x10 wheels are 30mm offset. So they were sucked in a little bit more than what a lot of wheels are. Like on my Bronco, it's got a 0 offset, so it sits real flush with the fender. And I put 3/4 spacers on this, so it definitely, helped to bring the wheels out a little bit, give it that more aggressive stance from the back. And I fixed the rear backup light issue. Not a big deal, but the bulb was broken. Actually, I believe I grabbed it when I left the house. I did. You can see how this side here has the 2 metal pieces on it, and you flip it around, and this one's only got 1. So what happened was that got broke off, and that light didn't work, as you could see from the video of it being delivered when it was back out of the trailer. That reverse light wasn't working, but as you saw from the video, that it's working out. And if anyone has any idea what that harness is in the trunk, I'd really like to know. I believe it's not factory, so if anyone has any ideas, I'll open to hear what that could be, because I'm honestly stumped on it. Well, that will be it for this video. Just slowly, step by step, correcting things on this car that weren't quite right when I got it. You could have probably driven it just as it was, but I always try to make things better than when I took possession of it, which is what I'm doing with this. It was a great car to begin with, but getting the wheels up more, getting the IRS grease, fixing that light, things like that. Just things I want to do to make the car a little bit better. This is going to get paint corrected, and I am going to do it here in the garage, and I'll do a step-by-step process on how you do that and why you should do it on your own, because so many people are afraid of messing up your paint with buffing it. You won't. You really, really won't, and I'll explain that more in the video. That may be the next video that comes out, I'm not quite sure, but that is coming up soon. And I have been in touch with the tuner to get this in for the dyno tune on it. It's probably not going to happen until April. We have not set a date yet. He's not currently taking dates yet for appointments. So depending on when you guys see this, he's going to start taking dates probably towards the end of March, early April, and I hope to get in sometime early to mid-April is what I'm hoping, and get a dyno tuned, and the car will just be all set from the summer. But if you made it this far in the video, make sure to leave it a like if you're new here. There's a lot more Cobra stuff coming up this summer. But above all else, thanks for watching.